is a 18-minute session, and I have an Ask the Experts right immediately afterwards. So this is a topic that's equal in our industry, I guess, to brain surgery. So there's probably going to be tons of questions, but please come to the Ask the Experts, and we'll do all that, because there's a lot of crunching of numbers and time that we have to discuss this. It's going to be kind of tight. There is a warning. This presentation contains code and the discussion of code. There is a further warning that the code is completely scaled down just for comprehension. So I'm going to be talking about the following things. Who am I? What is Schema? How it affects search results? Why should affiliates care? And where are great resources? So who am I? I'm Jonathan Edward Goodman. I'm the president of Halyard Consulting. We're located in Jersey City, New Jersey. The company was established in 2007. Our focus is primarily small to medium-sized businesses ranging from service industries, financials, lawyers, the whole range like that. We are WordPress exclusive, and we are kind of getting into iPhone apps and things like that, but we are primarily WordPress exclusive. It's a full range of internet marketing services, including optimization, development, content, public relations, advertising. And I've written a book called The World of Internet Marketing, and I also have a weekly podcast on Fridays called The World of Internet Marketing as well, which you can find on Spreaker.com or on HalyardConsulting.com. What is Schema? In one sentence, Schema is search based on intended meaning. What you see, what the engines see. There's a differentiation between Apple the company and Apple the product. When you type in Apple, what do you mean? What happens is that Google has to understand, based on your previous searches, based on your personal intent, what you're actually searching for. Now let's break this code down. Item scope and item type is saying that we're going to look for this referencing code at schema.org. The name is Apple for both. The description for Apple the company is that Apple Inc., formerly Apple Computer Inc., is an American multinational corporation headquartered in Cupertino, California. While the Apple description is that the apple is the pomace fruit of the apple tree species Malleus domestica in the rose family. Schema.org person is Steve Jobs. Color is red for the apple. So already we're trying to differentiate something that really on a daily basis the search engines can't really understand. How does it affect the search results? Well, here is the video that I did with Todd, Affiliate Summit East 2013 Speaker Preview, Jonathan Goodman. That in the item prop, so we have item prop is the video. This is a video. The item type is coming from schema.org, and it's going to reference all the data that would be coming in from video. The name is Affiliate Summit East 2013 Speaker Preview, Jonathan Goodman. Duration is T6M51S. So it's 6 minutes, 51 seconds. The thumbnail, that image, is defined as Jonathan Goodman interview thumb. The description, being pulled just like we would in all metadata, in this video interview from our speaker preview series, we introduce Jonathan Goodman, CEO of Halyard Consulting. Now, I did not read 50 Shades of Grey, but we're going to break that down as a book. So again, we're pulling from schema.org in the book section. So we've pulled from the company, we've pulled from product, we've pulled from video, and now we're going to look at book. The item name is 50 Shades of Grey. The description is pulled in as 50 Shades of Grey, and I won't read that whole thing. The author is a person. So to define that E.L. James is a person, differentiates it and further descripts it as related to the book. And what was the date that it published? June 20th, 2011. And you see, all of this is now, what we used to have is data that would be out there and not defined. As we get better at defining each individual piece of data, Google and the search engines are able to provide a better analysis when you're doing intended search. Here's an event, a business event. The URL is affiliatesummit.com 13E conference. The name is Affiliate Summit East 2013. The start date is 8/18/2013 at 12 p.m. The location, schema.org postal address, 1101 Arch Street, Philadelphia, PA, 19107. Now, is that actually the correct address? Because aren't we on Market Street and Broad? So that could have been better defined, right? Why should affiliates care? This is the most important part of the presentation. Just because, this is from Matt Cutts, who handles, the head of the web spam team. Just because you implement schema.org doesn't mean that you should necessarily rank higher. I'm not going to take it off the table. It's always that slide of the Google side. But just because somebody implements schema.org markup, that doesn't mean that they're necessarily an automatically better site, although it could be a good idea to mark up things in a rich structure just because then different people can slice and dice and find your site more easily if they are doing more digging. What do I say? I say a well-structured site, rich in detail, and capable of correctly offering more extensive data is more likely to gain ranking within the search results. It makes sense. Where are great resources? On the Google Webmaster tools, we have Structured Data Testing Tool, which tests authorship data, email verification, rel author markup, publisher markup, extracted structured data, and RDFA nodes. And you could see, it might be a little bit difficult to see in this slide, but we put in a URL, and that URL pulls in the data as it would be displayed in the search engines. There's the preview. It has my image in it. It has my information and the description and what the URL is as we've defined it and what the title is. So from the authorship testing result, you can see that in addition to that data being shown, you also have a Google Plus profile, which is my URL within Google Plus, and my name. So there is direct correlation, and that's why it's pulling in that image of me. It's direct correlation because it understands that Halyard Consulting is owned by me, and that the author of that article is me, and I am that Google Plus personality. You have Structured Data Markup Helper, which is you're able to go into the Webmaster tools and you're able to say to Google, I want you to look at this entire website. It goes through and it's going to show you about 10 pages. And as you're going through each page, you're going to be asked to define what is Google looking at different points. Is this considered a title? Is this where the author's name generally comes in? Is that author named Jonathan Goodman? Well, if it is, then I'm going to go through the rest of the website and look for all instances within that area of the code that says Jonathan Goodman, and I will know that all of these pages relate to that specific author. It does images, it does content, it does links, it does events, it does videos. It goes through, and the more that you're willing to sit there and perfect it, the better your website's going to be. If your website has 100 pages, it probably will be able to figure it out within 10 pages. If your website has tens of thousands of pages, and it's e-commerce and blog and calendar and all of these variables, it's going to take a while. You're going to have to sit there and go through it. The advantage is that you're going to be able to have clear data that is going to be provided when people do intended searches, which is really where everything is going. Schema Creator, which is schema-creator.org, is a good starting point. How many developers are in the room? That was two more than I was expecting. I really didn't think that anyone really is a developer in this group. So Schema Creator is a perfect way for you to kind of get around that issue of having to write up all this market content. And then, in addition to Schema Creator, if you're running, how many people are running WordPress? Okay, great. So WordPress, one of the good plugins is Yoast. That's a lot of metadata stuff, but it also has the ability to do Facebook, which is the open Facebook information. That will translate into Google Schema, and that's that's really the best way if you're not writing the code yourself and you're not able to kind of go into Webmaster Tools and do it this way. That's a great tool for you to do on every day. Okay, so we have like 3 minutes. We did pull the microphone away. I have 6 minutes. Well, I have to run. Are there any questions? I've stunned everybody into silence. I could go into more detail. So if we have 6 minutes, I can kind of go back and really, I ran through that pretty quick. So let's go through and really talk about what is happening here. In fact, let's see. No, I'm not gonna try to pull up schema.org. But let's just analyze this from intended search. If you were looking at Affiliate Summit East and you did a search and you said videos for Affiliate Summit, a descriptor like this with the code as it is going to have better intended search results. That's going to give it a higher ranking. I mean, Google says it's not, it is, simply because it better understands and defines what is the information within it. When you're talking about any type of book, you then have the ability, there's a movie coming out, right? So at some point, that movie will get a descriptive on the video. It'll be an entertainment from the schema.org, and then the two will kind of merge. There'll be a differentiator between book, person, the author, and then the movie, and then those actors. So the actors in those movies are then able to be brought into that pool of data for that one topic. When we're talking about events, if anybody has events on their website, you can wind up getting better ranking, because what's going to eventually happen is in the search engines, you're starting to see this if you put like Leonardo da Vinci or anybody like, a significant artist or significant famous individual, they're kind of going to separate it. They're going to split the screen. You're going to have results, links on the left side, and then on the right side, you're going to actually have data provided for you. This is very similar if you were doing an event. So for Affiliate Summit East, if you searched on that, you could probably have, and I just haven't done it recently, but I would likely expect that on the right-hand side, you've got a couple of, obviously, affiliatesummit.com, then you've got a couple of other articles that are coming in. You've got the videos that are being presented, images, if any of those are marked up for the right terms, if they're saying Affiliate Summit images. And then on the right-hand side, you probably have the map. You have the event as it's put there. And, you know, right now, it's kind of iffy. You can go in and you can put it in, and sometimes it'll be there for Leonardo da Vinci, but it might not be there for Pablo Picasso. So they're working on kind of figuring it out. And obviously, in the first page, there's real estate that's being taken up by a lot of different things. But at the end of the day, Google is trying to provide you with better results and get you to the point where you're actually done searching for your information and not even necessarily clicking through to another page. If you needed to find out when Pablo Picasso died and you typed in Pablo Picasso and it showed you on the right-hand side, that's the end of your results. That's the end of your search. Okay, pretty good. No questions. Oh, question in the back. So the question is co-citation and co-reference. Co-citation from like if I'm looking up a New York Times article and then there's a reference to the person that the article is about. Not sure I understand the question. I don't totally hear the question. That's the first part. But just say it again. Yep. Today. Is it playing into the rankings for Schema today? Oh, okay. Is co-reference and co-citation? Yeah. Well, I don't know the answer to that. Yeah. Okay. I think that what Google eventually wants to get to is the intended user's search is being searched. The results are for the search. So is it say the question again, because you're all the way in the back. Yeah. Right, so you're asking, is a website that has schema marked up in it, is it getting better rankings than a website that is not marked up with schema? So you're under the assumption that the rankings are based on the previous click-through rates of a website? Broadly speaking, there's two thoughts here. Matt Cutts would say that it doesn't have an immediate impact. And on the other side of that, I would say that a website that is fully marked up with content, with visitor data, is going to have an easier time ranking than a site that does not. Excellent. Thank you so much. I'll be at the Ask the Experts right now.